CNC3.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I am Bhavita Gopalchan. Thank you so much for joining us. The 49th Caricom Heads of Government Conference is currently taking place in Jamaica. And Akash Samru is there, where he spoke to this country's Minister of Homeland Security about the national security agenda.
Good afternoon, Bhavita. Well, today's when the regional reps will be in several bilateral meetings and plenary sessions. All closed doors, so we'll have to wait for them to be over before we find out certain outcomes. Now, last evening was the opening ceremony, and we found out from Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers that Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar did not attend because national matters are occupying her attention. We did ask him what those were, but we did not get any answers. We've tried to get the Prime Minister herself on it, still nothing. Maybe it comes up tonight in the UNC meeting in Penal where she's speaking. But let's talk about the business of today. And let's remember that Minister Sobers is also here with Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander. We caught up with Minister Alexander where we asked him about the meetings he would be having. One of them is with Jamaica's National Security Minister, and we wanted to find out what would be on the agenda. This is his response.
Some of those things we need to keep on the down low for now, because when I say down low, it's national security interest. And we want to take an approach where we want persons to see what we are doing, and we don't want to just speak about it.
Until those 6 and 7 gangs, there are also 6 and 7 gangs in Jamaica. There's a connection there. Is that something that you all will be discussing as well?
It has always been within our reach and within our sight.
Also, we asked Minister Alexander if he's worried about what can be perceived as a possible resurgence of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, to which he said,
you need to treat with the institutions responsible for crime. Boost up those institutions. And I often go with this idea about, I have been speaking about it year after year after year. If the police control the streets, we will control crime. And remember that.
And you're not worried about any possible, are you seeing any possible resurgence in crime? And around election time there was a dip. We're starting to see murders again.
Well, I will tell you this much. Change is coming.
Well, that's it for now. We'll have much more for you during the day on social media and in our 7 p.m. news. Until then, Akash Samru, CNC3 News, Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Thank you so much, Akash Samru, for bringing us that report from the 49th Caricom Heads of Government Conference currently underway in Jamaica. Now, as the conference gets underway without Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, one international relations specialist says it will have no bearing on the outcome of the meetings. On CNC3's Morning Brew program today, Moali Henry says most of the work is probably already done.
Most of these technical meetings, Jason, happens in advance. There's a lot of work that happens before these heads of government meetings that takes place. So if that work was done in advance, if Trinidad's interest was served throughout some of those subcommittee meetings, then in terms of the physical presence of the Prime Minister being there is not a missed opportunity.
The Law Association is calling for an end to what it describes as dangerous political attacks on the independence of the Senate. It says recent criticism of independent senators over their votes on the Prime Minister's pension amendment bill reflects a growing trend of undermining public institutions whenever they go against political interests. The association issued the statement days after several UNC officials, including its PRO, Dr. Kirk Mayhew, accused the bench of being biased for supporting the bill. But the Law Association says there's no logic in claiming that votes one way or another were tied to independence. It stressed that independent senators are chosen by the president to provide non-partisan perspectives and that democracy depends on protecting those voices. Senate President Wade Mark previously warned that attempts to pressure or shame senators crossed a line and may breach parliamentary privilege. On to some other developments now. Several government ministries and state agencies owe close to $700 million to the National Maintenance and Security Company. And now the Estate Police Association is demanding urgent action. EPA President Derek Richardson says the Education Ministry alone accounts for almost half the debt, leaving MTS struggling to pay salaries and remit workers' deductions. CNC3 News understands MTS has been operating on overdraft for the past 5 years and had to borrow $300 million just to meet basic obligations like NIS contributions. Richardson warns that workers, many earning near minimum wage, are suffering the consequences with their credit ratings damaged and loans denied. He's calling on Finance Minister Devindranath Thakur to use supplementary budget allocations to settle outstanding payments between 2013 and 2025. Police are currently on the scene of a double murder in St. Mary's, Moruga. CNC3 News understands that the men's bullet-riddled bodies were found in some bushes off Simon Trace around 7:30 this morning. A gold Almera was found parked a short distance away. We'll have more information on this story as it develops. And the search for a man missing in Charlottesville has ended in tragedy. Around 6 a.m. this morning, the body of Michael Yeats was found floating at Bottom Bay 2 days after he was reported missing at sea. The Coast Guard was contacted to help bring the body to shore, but lacked the equipment needed for the retrieval. Other assistance was called in, and the body was eventually brought ashore. The district medical officer and undertakers were also notified. A local gospel artist, K. Alan Maloney, has passed away after an intense battle with cancer. The 43-year-old, who rose to national fame after winning the televised talent competition Digicel Rising Stars in 2007, had been suffering with the illness for over a year. Through her ministry music, which began in the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Tobago many years ago, Alan Maloney touched countless lives across Trinidad and Tobago, the wider Caribbean, the United States and England. In a media release yesterday, Minister of Culture and Community Development Michelle Benjamin commended Aline Maloney's contributions to local entertainment and the gospel genre of music, describing her voice and style as one of a kind. Also paying tribute yesterday, Digicel lauded her for her talent and selflessness in striving through music to bridge gaps and form bonds. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with sport.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Whether it's the pursuit of peace and wellness, an ancient elixir, or new nourishment, or the chance to walk in the footsteps of strong spirits, Turkey's Anatolia region is brimming with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered and embraced. These are their hidden treasures.
Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Boss Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Boss Report. CNC3, covering your world.
In sport, West Indies coach Darren Sammy is not happy with his team's batting performance in the ongoing Test series versus Australia. West Indies lost a first Test in Barbados by 161 runs, lost a second by 133, and have been bowled out for under 200 twice in the two matches. Sammy was sharing his thoughts after the second Test lost in Grenada.
Not good enough, for sure. I mean, yes, we all know we're playing against the number one team in the world. 4 quality bowlers in the top 10, but the display, we've just not shown when it is tough to find a way to absorb pressure.
Sammy hinted at possible changes in the second Test, where West Indies have not been able to put together good partnerships at the top of the order.
Our lower order, 8, 9, 10 has been really good. And we've seen glimpses of what we could do as a team. So definitely we'll have a look at that, see the guys that are in the squad and how fair it is to move on as quickly as 3 Test matches.
Let's take another break. We'll be right back.
If you could see what the future holds, you'd see that while things change, you've still got it. You are strong, resilient, inspiring, and you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it because you were made for more. Discover how Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way help you age vibrantly.
Looking for a supermarket that has it all? Welcome to Food Shopper Supermarket, where big really means big. Enjoy secure parking, spacious aisles, and a spotless modern store that makes shopping a breeze. From fresh produce to everyday essentials, you'll find unbeatable prices and friendly staff who are happy to help. We offer a safe and secure gated compound with a large parking facility for your shopping needs. Number 121 Eastern Main Road, Arriva, Chai Trading Compound, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Food Shopper Supermarket. Every day, low prices.
Don't forget our grand celebration, June 28th. Bring the whole family.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Caricom countries need to fully discuss the impact of artificial intelligence on the culture, values and the preservation of the Caribbean. Holness, the chairman of the 15-member regional integration group, said that raising the matter should not be regarded as a call to regulate or censor. His statement followed Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley's position that fake news has become more rampant and the improper use of AI can cause great panic. Mottley suggested that the region come up with a Caricom validation mechanism to take action and validate truth. Well, now for the weather this morning, we had a few passing showers, some moderate to heavy over Tobago. We have an approaching tropical wave, which is expected to pass later, but most of the activity is coming in behind it. So we can expect these scattered showers to continue today with the odd heavy shower. But then those heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected to move in from early tomorrow, giving us a relatively wet day. I'll also be keeping track of two other tropical waves and the ITCZ as they make their way toward us this week. Well, thank you so much for joining us for a look at the day's developments so far. We'll have these stories and so much more coming up for you in a major newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great day.